Today, I want to talk about the Harry and Meghan interview, which was conducted by Oprah Winfrey. In this interview, Harry and Meghan were really honest, upfront, and personal. And this video is not just going to be about how they have led their lives and the decisions they've made, but also how we can equate some of their options, choices, and their rationale for changing into your life too. The reason why I wanted to jump on this so quickly is because I wanted to highlight just how brave Meghan was for talking about her mental health. And for someone to relive that vulnerable state of being is something that's really inspirational, something which we should all learn from. Because if we can meet that vulnerability and learn how to use it in a constructive way, we're not just going to feel better, but also other people are too. The first quote I have here is, "I was ashamed to admit it to Harry." And this is something which I see so much because we might be going through something. We might feel really sad, depressed, upset, angry even. And we feel we don't have any avenue to explore that. And we think, well, why don't we communicate that to our loved one, our partner, our husband, our wife, so that we can get some support from them. But when we're confronted with those hard to deal with emotions, we feel that we don't want to put it onto them. We feel scared to tell them in case it impacts not just how they feel in themselves, but how they feel about you too. And also how the relationship is going to sustain and keep going even with those hard to deal with emotions. And the irony is that person, that loved one, which you want to connect to, all they want to hear is what's going on in your life. So they can help, they can collaborate, they can bring you up with them and support you with a secure base so that you can share in that and resolve it together. Because really, that person is feeling and empathizing over what you're feeling in that moment. But if you don't tell them about it, they feel lost. They don't feel that they can do anything. But we're getting off topic a little bit because what we're talking about here is Meghan not being able or feeling able to connect to her husband, to Prince Harry, about what's going on. And in doing so, she's going to feel even more lost and alone, not able to communicate or connect to anyone. So Meghan said next, there are so many people who are afraid to voice they need help. This goes back to what Meghan was saying before, and that shame associated with talking about your mental health, that vulnerability of feeling anything but happy, which keeps you locked, hoping that something's going to change. But if you're not able to talk about it or feel it, you're never going to know what it is that's causing you to feel that way. So you're never going to be able to take action to get away from that feeling. There are so many people who are afraid to voice they need help. Fear is the first thing we feel when we feel emotionally vulnerable. It stops us from acting because we feel there's a consequence to saying something or acting in a different way. Therefore, we keep very quiet and we hope that everything fixes itself and it goes away. But remember, if you're not sharing it with anyone or feeling it yourself, nothing's going to change because you're not going to know what the problem is and you won't be able to act on it and accomplish anything or change anything because you're just going to stay stuck being very quiet. The next thing that Meghan said, which I thought would be good for us to explore, is I didn't want to be alive anymore. Suicidal idealization. It was so on top of her. All these emotions, all these thoughts, all these feelings. Life was too much for her. Therefore, she wanted to end her life or idealized ending her life, which may not mean that she wants to commit suicide. It means that her life needs to change. She's desperate to do anything else except be in that situation, feeling vulnerable, feeling lost, with no sense of empowerment. She wants choice. She wants to be able to go out and do what she wants to do. And that doesn't mean she wants to break all the rules. It just means that she wants a little bit more say in how her life goes, which is why maybe she thought about not being alive anymore, because she couldn't imagine living another day with the life that she was living there and then. And this goes on to the next thing that she said, which is, I need to go somewhere else. She doesn't feel that she can be anywhere or do anything. She wants to be somewhere else. She wants to talk to her husband. She doesn't want to talk to her husband. She's lost. She's trying to find her way in this whole new society and world that she's in. Therefore, I can really understand why she felt she needed to change everything. It's something that everyone needs to feel is validated, rewarded, and in control. And if you don't feel you have that control anywhere, no wonder that she's trying to break away from that. She needs to take herself away from life. She needs to move away. Anything but stay put. This is something which I see over and over again within my therapy sessions. People are desperate for a change, to move. Sometimes they move countries and they go, oh, I need to move to Spain. Sometimes you need to step away from those people or those situations that are causing you to feel that way. But you need to do work as well to make sure that you're moving away physically, but also mentally and most importantly, emotionally too. And what Harry said was, I didn't have anyone to turn to. Support and having a network of people around you where you feel you can be open and honest. You can say anything, do anything, and be listened to and heard. Just by having someone to listen to what you have to say, it allows you the space to emotionally connect to yourself, whilst that person can connect to you too. This is one of the main ways that counseling or therapy works. Having that someone that you feel you can say anything to, you can be honest and upfront with, and you're not going to get judged for doing so. A lot of that interview was about that perception of being a member of the royal family, doing the right thing, not being seen or acting in a way which will be seen by the public as being wrong. And it puts a big weight on Harry himself. And that weight doesn't need to be a bad thing, because it's about how you support each other. And that's how relationships stay on point. When everything's great, it's easy. When everything gets a little bit harder, it's how you create those new ways of living, those new choices you make, and being on the same page, supporting each other during not just the good times, but also the bad. That's how relationships stay on point, and how you can both feel satisfied, rewarded, and safe in that relationship. It's a shame, isn't it? Because Harry never felt he had the tools or the flexibility or the space whilst living in London to support his wife, which is why they had to move away. They had to take themselves out of that environment because they found it toxic. They wanted choice and they wanted the ability to be themselves. You can not only see it from their point of view, but also connect to them yourself and think, how can I have that flexibility, that safety, and the choices to live the life that I want to live, away from the perception and the expectations of others, to be able to be free to do what you want to do. Something that's really important for me to share is how brave Harry and Meghan were to come out and talk about their mental health. It makes it okay to not feel happy and to address those issues that you're facing to live a happier life. Meghan and Harry chose a different option to one that was expected of them. And as a result, it feels like, based on their interview and their life right now, they're happier as a result. Why don't you think about some choices that you can make to make you happier too? And on that note, I wish you all the best. Remember to like this video and subscribe to see plenty more to come. Look forward to seeing you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.